Keep watching, and today I'm going to answer the 7 LinkedIn questions I was asked this week, and I want to give you some advice to help you to get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. This is Brenda Beller. Keep watching, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to read off of my list, which is over here. So if you see me looking that way, that's why. I've got 7 questions I'm going to give answers to today. So first, I'm going to start with is question number 1. Is there a penalty for sharing an external link in a LinkedIn post? Now, this was asked in a call I was in today for Innovation Women. They were talking about whether it's a newsletter or an external magazine article or a YouTube link or something like that. And they wondered if there was a penalty for doing that or if they should put the link in comments. And they've heard there's a penalty for that as well. I'm going to give the long story short. If you're not posting at all right now, do whatever you need to do to get posting. Because I think here it's more important to think initially about getting in the habit of posting and sharing content that is seen as interesting and relevant for your ideal target audience. I don't want you to get so caught up in what are the rules of the algorithm and things like that, especially if you're a beginner that's just getting started. Now, if you are a little bit more advanced and your goal is really to take your LinkedIn up a notch, to level up your impressions, and you're looking to learn more about how the algorithm works and how to really expand your presence, I want to let you know that the goal for LinkedIn is to keep people on the site longer. Now, a while back, it was very clear to all of us that there was an external link penalty. And many of my peers who are LinkedIn trainers and coaches from across the world, we compare notes. And we have noticed that when you have an external link, whether it's a YouTube video or we're sharing a website link, we're pointing people off of LinkedIn, we tend to get lower reach. Now, whether that is because the algorithm is penalizing an external link or because of user behavior, people see it as quote unquote salesy and they tend not to engage with it, we're not 100% sure. But we did hear from LinkedIn a few years back, and they did say, hey, we're not doing the external link penalty anymore. And all of us LinkedIn trainers and coaches, we circled wagons, we looked at it and we said, yeah, it still looks like it's happening. So whether it's because of the algorithm penalty or just the nature of people thinking they're more salesy posts, I tend to tell people if your goal is to increase your reach of your posts, here's the little workaround that you can do. You can take, let's say you're sharing a YouTube video, take a picture of the thumbnail and just post that as a photo, type in the text that you would do for the body of the post. And, you can type in, check out this YouTube video to learn more, and then spell out YouTube .com/ and then put the rest of the link in there. Now, human beings, we will see that. And if it's a video we want to watch, we'll replace the parentheses dot with the dot. We'll go and do that work. And even if we don't do it right away, what you can do is publish that immediately, give it at least 10 minutes, maybe even a half hour or longer, then go back into the post and edit it. So this is the post edit method. I first learned about this from John Espirian, great guy. And this helps to overcome that post external link penalty that you'll experience. And it also makes it super easy for users to click and watch that video. All right. So that's the first question. Second question, should I send the same content, or rather, should I publish the same content in my email newsletter as my LinkedIn newsletter? And for this particular individual, I asked a question. I said, I could look on her newsletter, and I think she had 1,400 subscribers. And I said, how many email subscribers do you have? And she said about 170. So I said, first of all, I'm going to give you advice not related to the question you're answering. You need to have a higher email list. So give people a reason to subscribe. Don't just say, join my email list, because nobody wants to join your email list. I'm sorry, we don't. But if you say, join my VIP email list, and I'll send you LinkedIn tips, advanced notices about upcoming events and new programs and new offerings, or maybe download my free LinkedIn for Coaches checklist, and that's a way for getting them in there. Yeah, I want to get on your email list there, right? So let's grow your list, because ultimately with social media, we're living on rented real estate, right? So try to grow your list. And then going back to the question, should I publish the same content in both places? No. I try to make sure that my VIP email subscribers, the ones that are in my list, are getting better content, more depth, more details, and they're really treated like VIPs. Now, you're still going to get good content from me if you subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter, but I want to make sure that it's slightly different, because what might happen is if they see it's the same content in both places, they might say, oh, well, I'm already getting this on LinkedIn. I'll unsubscribe from her email list. And now I'm missing out on that marketing opportunity. And then the other thing to keep in mind, this isn't what the person asked me, but I want to give you a little marketing insight here. Your LinkedIn newsletter, you can click to see who the subscribers are. And if they are second or third level and they match your target audience criteria, invite them to connect. Say something like, "Hi, Jessica, we haven't met yet, but I noticed that you're following my LinkedIn newsletter, The Marketing Minute. Let's connect on LinkedIn." And I like to tell them the name of the newsletter because they may have forgotten that they did it, even if it was like yesterday or last week, right? So just reference that in the invitation and it can help them to realize like where you're coming from and what that connection point was. And then you might have a good conversation starter in there as well. All right, so that's the second question. Third question, what should I post on my company page? And my response to this question was first to give guidelines. On your LinkedIn profile, you should be posting at least once a week. On your company page, you should post at least once a month. Now, your company page, if you're self-employed, people don't know if Meller Marketing is just me or if it's an agency and I've got 20 or 100 employees running under it. So you can post as if you're a larger organization from there. The other thing to think about is Brenda Meller, my posts, you expect it to be my voice, my personality, right? Your company page, people expect it to be a bit more promotional about the company, maybe even giving them an overview of your services, new offerings, upcoming events, merchandising testimonials, merchandising featured Q&A, things like that. And the great thing is, for the most part, people don't see your company page posts in the homepage. And you're like, well, why is that great? Because the people that do see your posts from your company page, you know where they see it? When they visit your company page. And when they go there, they're going to see the post feed from your company page, and all they see is content from Meller Marketing, Meller Marketing. So they're not competing with the clutter of the homepage. It's a very targeted audience. And then you can blend in a recent blog, a recent YouTube video, a promotion of your upcoming webinar, a reminder about your one-to-one services, a reminder about your members. You can put different things in there, and it helps to kind of paint the picture of what your company has to offer. And related to that, you should be using the company page feature where you invite connections to follow your page. A lot of times what people will do is before deciding to follow, they'll click to visit the company page, and then they're reading your feed, right? So even if they don't interact, you're helping to build that brand for your company and build some visibility about the work that you do. All right, so that was question number 3. Question number 4, should I pay for LinkedIn Premium? And I'm talking about the personal profile premium, not the company page premium. I don't think you should pay for that, by the way, unless you're a big organization. But for your LinkedIn Premium, I don't work for LinkedIn, so full disclosure there. Having said that, I have used every paid level. I've used Premium Career, which I'm in right now, even though I'm not a job seeker. I've used Premium Business. I have used Sales Navigator. And I've done all of these memberships at the monthly level and at the annual level. They give you a little bit of a discount if you go annual in there as well. Now, I don't like to throw money at LinkedIn that is a waste of money. And I've tested the different features at each of the levels. For me, Premium Career works just fine, $40 a month. I want to make sure that you're getting the highest ROI out of that, return on investment. So if you're paying LinkedIn $40 a month, are you getting $40 of value that's helping to build up your business? For me, I can say absolutely, because if I get one new client, it's more than paid for that investment every month in there. So should you pay for premium? I usually say don't pay for premium unless these 3 things have occurred. 1, you have optimized your profile for your ideal target audience, and that's a recent optimization sometime within the past year. The second thing is you should understand invitation and messaging strategy, meaning that you know how to personalize invitations, you are responding back to new connections, and you are screening in invitations that you receive from people you don't know, not just ignoring them at face value, right? So you have a methodology, a strategy for that. The third thing you should be doing is related to posting and network engagement. You should be posting at least once a week. Your post should be getting engagement, comments, likes, replies, etc. And you should also be engaging with other people's posts every single business day. If you're doing all 3 of those things, and you are using LinkedIn to grow your business, then it might be worth that investment. So that's my recommendation for you. All right, 5th question. We got 2 more to go after this one. 5th question out of 7. Should I be verified? Meaning, should I verify my profile? Now, this is a feature LinkedIn rolled out not too long ago because of the increase of spam and bot accounts and just that, when people look at your profile, are you a real person? So having that verification badge ensures the person who's visiting your profile that you are who you say that you are. And for the most part, our profiles are all being verified through the personal profile side. I'm going to talk about the company page verification in just a moment. But what you'll need to do here in the US, you'll need to click on the link and actually it'll open it up inside your phone. And they use the process that's managed through a company called Clear, which is when you go through the airport, those fast airport lines and they screen you through. Clear is the company that does the identity verification. So I believe you have to upload your driver's license front and back. I'm not sure if you have to upload a photo of yourself or something else in there as well, but they will verify that you are who you say that you are, and then they will allow you to become verified. If you don't have a driver's license, they will allow you to do a passport or something else. Now, some of my clients say, I don't want LinkedIn or Clear to have that information. They're a little bit nervous about that. That's totally up to you. I usually tell people it makes sense to get your profile verified if you're just getting started, meaning you have pretty light content, not everything's filled out on your profile, less than 100 connections. But if you're well established, let's say you've got thousands of connections and followers, clear branding throughout that represents your company, you're posting regularly, you're engaging regularly, I don't know that you necessarily need that verification. LinkedIn will say that verified profiles grow faster and you get more invitations accepted and things like that. But I think you have to think about the circumstances. Like, what do you do as a human being if you get an invitation from someone? If they look like it is a real headshot, professional headshot, not AI generated, not like an avatar or a photo or a logo, I usually say, yeah, they're a real person. If their headline looks like they're a real person, even after a quick look at their profile, if they look real, I usually don't have any doubts about it. If there's something that feels a little bit off, that verification does give me the peace of mind. So I want you to think about your own use of that feature and whether or not that makes sense. And just as a quick aside, you can also verify through your company page. You do have to have a domain that matches your email address. So my company is mellermarketing.com, and I would have to have an email, brenda@mellermarketing.com, for example, to get that verification. Okay. So that's a little bit on that. That was question number 5. We've got 2 more to go here. Question number 6. This comes from a person who was trying to post something on LinkedIn, and she says, why couldn't I tag people or companies in my post? And she said she tried typing on the @ sign, and normally the name drops down, the company name. And she said in this instance, she tried 3 or 4 times and the tags weren't working. My answer to her and to all of you is this. Sometimes LinkedIn hiccups. That's the short answer of it. It's not you, it's them. Often when this happens, LinkedIn is in the process of making some type of a site-wide feature change or enhancement. And I've heard from other LinkedIn trainers and coaches that there's multiple servers that they use, and they might be moving off of one server onto another, and a feature like the tagging gets disabled during that time. So my recommendation, if this happens to you, if you're on your mobile app, try to go on desktop and see if it works there. If it doesn't work on either, just publish the post without the tags and then give it a half hour, an hour or so, or even later in the day, go back in there again and then try adding in the tags. Okay. Usually the problem will have resolved itself at that point. If it continues to persist, what I would recommend is that you submit a ticket to the LinkedIn help desk. I'll put the comments in below where you can find those submission forms, and just point it out to them. It might be a glitch that is unique to you. Hopefully it's not a feature that's going away. I don't think that would be the case in this instance, but more than likely it is just a glitch. It will go away. It's not just you. It's probably just a site-wide thing that's happening. And a lot of times when we see these glitches happening on LinkedIn, a lot of us LinkedIn trainers and coaches, we've noticed that when a glitch happens, when the glitch is fixed, there's something new in that area. So pay attention to the posting, the tagging area, and see if there's something new that's coming up in there as well. All right, final question. This is question number 7. I noticed you looked at my profile recently. Any words of wisdom you'd like to share after reviewing my profile? So this was someone who messaged me on LinkedIn, and they must be using that who's viewed your profile recently, and they see that I'm a LinkedIn trainer and coach. And they reached out and they said, hey, you looked at my profile. Any words of wisdom do you want to give me? And they're basically looking for free advice on their profile. And I replied back. I actually published this as a post on my company page. And I basically said, hey, thanks for asking. LinkedIn coaching is actually what I do for a living. And here's a link to my one-to-one services. If you'd like to learn more about getting a profile audit or booking a power hour session with me or anything like that, happy to do. Doesn't hurt to ask. And this person was looking for some free advice, for some free feedback on their profile. It wasn't someone that I knew well. If it was a friend, I might give them some advice and I might ask, what are your goals for using LinkedIn? And maybe work it into a discovery call situation. But in this particular instance, I'm sharing this with you because if you are self-employed, you no longer get a paycheck, and you shouldn't have to feel obligated to giving people free advice that is related to your area of expertise that people are paying you for. So don't be shy. Don't be apologetic about it. Just say, hey, actually, this is one of my service offerings. Here's a page where you can book to work with me. All right. No apologies needed. Go out with complete confidence in this, my friend, and hopefully this will help you to generate more clients. Hey, if you found this video or podcast helpful, I'd love it if you could share it along with someone else. And if you do have any questions, you can always email me at brenda@mellermarketing.com. Or if we're connected on LinkedIn, just send me a direct message there. And maybe one of your questions will be featured in a future video/podcast. This is Brenda Meller helping you to get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. Thanks so much for listening.